operating system because it's a small one, not a small one, and it is also an important one, and we can finish. Services management, startup management, registries, safe mode, system restoration point, and BSOD. Okay, so tomorrow and day after tomorrow, mostly I will try to complete it. Okay, so these are the things. Yeah, here it is. This is enough space. Operating system basics. Okay. And of course, there is a picture to indicate. Okay. So first of all, we have a system. Okay. We have a system. System means it contains a hardware components, right? We have a hardware components like CPU is there, RAM is there. Of course, you have a motherboard is there, hard disk is there, right? You have an NIC is there, like a different hardware components are there. This is hardware part of your system. And what are we doing with our operating our system computer? We run an applications, right? We run different type of applications. I am running this Chrome browser. It is. This is Microsoft Teams. It is. Okay. I run a WhatsApp application. Okay. I'm running some different applications we are running. Okay. So in our system, I'm interacting with my system. Means I want to draw. This is a Microsoft Paint. That is an application. Okay. So I want to control my system. I'm interacting with the system. So then I can interact with my applications. I can do some certain commands. I want to do certain commands. I want to create a file. I want to store a data. I want to access the data. Right. So for that one, I need an interface. Right. I want to run an applications and I need a user interface to interact with my system. Right. So how to do that one? This is an operating system. Using operating system, it is possible. In the operating system, again, two parts, guys. One part of operating system interact with your hardware, and another part of operating system runs your applications and your provide a user interface, runs user commands and run user applications on it. Okay, the operating system part which is interact with the hardware called a kernel. The operating system which provide a interface to the user runs applications, provide an environment to run an application that called shell part of operating system. Okay, so what is an operating system again? Guys, it is nothing but a software or a program which interact with your hardware and provide a user interface. It is What is an operating system? Is a software which acts as an interface between end user and computer hardware. Every computer must have at least one operating system to run other programs. Okay, you want to run a Google Chrome or a Microsoft Word, you want to play games, you want to paint on a paintbrush, Photoshop, you want to write a document. So to run an applications are important, right? So you need to interface with your operating system and run an applications. So operating system will provide that. Okay. So OS help you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak computer language. What is a computer language? It is binary system. So we don't need to learn binary language or assembly language, ASCII codes like that. We are not learning like that. Simply you have a system, either laptop or a desktop, you power on it and log in, start using it. Right? So you need to know how the process will take a process, run the process, executing the process. All these instructions you need to load yourself. You open an application, use an application, done with an application, then close it and exit from system. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. It is not possible for a user to use any computer or a mobile device without having operating system. Without operating system, you can't interact with your system. Okay, that is a small point in operating system. Okay, guys, understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
As I said, operating system, we can say two parts. One part is kernel, another part of operating system is shell. You take any operating system, either it can be a Windows operating system or it can be a Linux, Unix kind of operating system. But guys, when you are learning Linux or Unix, that time definitely they will tell you what is kernel and shell. But when you are learning about Windows operating system, we directly go for Windows operating system features, roles, means management related. Why? Because of Windows operating system, we cannot see the kernel part of operating system as well as the shell part of operating system. Means the program we can't see. We use it, but we cannot see. In Linux and Unix is a mainly open source type, means source that the control we can do the kernel related and shell related management, we can do it, we can program it, we can change it also. Okay, but whatever it is guys, any operating system basically two parts. One is kernel part, another is shell part. Kernel part is interact with the hardware. Okay, and manages hardware related management like a disk management, process management, network management, memory management. These are all done by your kernel only. You connect a printer example, so you may not imagine that with a basic kernel part, but think like this. Last part also someone asked me a drivers, device drivers troubleshooting. Okay, think like that. You connected a printer, you don't know how to interact with the printer, so like your operating system should know it how to interact with the printer. So what we have to do, we have to install a printer drivers. These drivers are not applications, it's a simple program which actually goes down to kernel part. So your operating system kernel uses these drivers to interact with the printer. So no drivers, we can't interact. Okay, so operating system don't know how to interact, so then we need a drivers also. The drivers also works at a kernel level of operating system. So kernel is generally interact with your hardware. Like you play a song, So you have some VLC player. You are playing a song. You are not getting an output. Sound. You are not seeing any sound from your speakers. So why? Because of there is a audio chip on your motherboard. So your program code means your song code not going to that audio chip. Who will help? The kernel. The kernel understand. The shell give it to the kernel. Kernel understand what are you doing. So then kernel will give your code to the audio chip. Audio chip understand your code and convert into audio format. It means speaker speak format kind of stuff. The speaker the sound conversion it is done, and it do the audio process, and it will tell so how to generate a sound to the speaker. Then it will we can able to hear it. Okay, sometimes your kernel don't know how to interact with audio chip, so we have to install audio chip drivers. So kernel operating system interact with the hardware. Sometimes need a device drivers to be installed additionally to interact with the certain hardware components. Both are works at a kernel level. Okay, hardware management. What is shell? Shell interacts with the user. Shell provide a user interface. Shell runs user applications. It provides an environment to run user applications. Okay, for example, I am running a Java application. Java runtime environment should be installed. I want to run a Python application. I want to run a .NET based applications. Their environment should be in your PC. Then only we can run. So it will provide a interface to run an applications also. Environment to run an application. Okay. So in generally Windows, we don't talk about a kernel and shell part, even it is there, because we cannot manage it. That we cannot modify any operating system in a Windows. But in Linux and Unix, we can see those things. So in Linux and Unix, we are using a shell called a Bourne again shell called a bash shell. BASH. Bash shell means Bourne again shell. And earlier of bash shell, it is only Bourne shell. Like that, there is different shell environments are in the Unix and Linux. In the earlier days, it is so T shell, K shell, C shell kind of stuff also. Okay, for user interface and user commands purpose. Guys, this is different user interface there. Command line interface, graphical user interface, terminal based or a text based user interface. Example, I am using a graphical user interface. Windows is basically graphical user interface. Okay, graphical user interface, because everything we can able to do in a graphically, right? You can interact with an applications, you can interact with any programs graphically. You can create a file, you can delete a file, you can open any application, you can run an application with a simple mouse clicks, and you can do it very simple by looking at it. Command line interface, whatever you want to do it, you have to do it in the by commands only. I want to create a file, I have to give a command. If I want to delete a file, I have to give a command. I want to see what is the task running in my PC, I have to give a command. Okay, I want to run certain applications, I have to give a command. So that is a command line interface. TUI is a basically command line interface only, but a little easy access purpose. They will give a interactive. Okay, it is interactive terminal type is there. Okay, na TUI is kind of screen. Okay, this is your operating system architecture, guys. So kernel and shell. Kernel interact with the hardware. Shell interact with your user. It provides user interface, run user applications. There is a different type of operating systems. Okay, yes, different type of operating systems. Simple operating system, network operating system. Simple operating system means it is a kind of desktop based operating system. Means I'm using a desktop, you are using a desktop operating system. Windows 10 is an example for a desktop operating system. Windows 7, Windows 11. Okay, these are all Windows XP 2000 operating systems, 2000 professional operating system. So we have a desktop based operating system. What is meant by desktop based operating system? We can run applications, programs, games, we can use internet, right? This is a desktop based operating system. We are actually client to a server. We are a end user devices, desktop based operating system. Ubuntu desktop is all comes here. Network operating system. Network operating system is a CentOS based operating system. Sorry. Mind. I'm getting huge back pain and very leg nerve pain. That's why I'm speaking something. Okay. Sorry. Network operating system is a server operating system. Like a Windows server operating system, Linux server operating system, Unix server operating systems comes under network operating system. What is the use of these operating systems? Guys, they will have a certain built-in roles or built-in, or by installing some server applications, it will provide a service to the client PCs like Active Directory services, DHCP services, DNS services, print services, VPN services, like that. So they become a VPN server to provide a VPN server. They become a web server, they will provide a web services. They'll become FTP server and FTP services. Okay. So simple operating system basically used as a desktop based operating system, and which is to run different type of applications and access services from the server. Server means, network operating system usually server operating systems means they will provide a service to the client PCs. Windows servers, Linux server, Unix servers comes under server operating system. The next one is user and a task. User and a task. Single user, single task operating system means only one task and one user can interact with the system at a time, and only one task we can able to run. That is called a single user, single task. Example is Microsoft Task operating system. Single user multitask. What is single user multitask? Only one user can log in at a time. For example, in my Windows system, either it is Windows Server or Windows Desktop, we can log in with only one user. You want to log in with other user, you have to log out from the current user. You have to log out from the current user, then only we can log in with the other user. Single user multitask. Multi-user multitask. Multi-user multitask. It means user, not only one user, guys, multiple users we can log in. System is there. Actually, I want to show you that one earlier, but it's not difficult. That time little busy. So IP addresses got changed. SSH, I am connecting with SSH, guys. What is the use of SSH? Secure shell, use it to connect remote machines. Port number is 22. Try to connect my remote machine if it is available. Just before only turn on, but it is trying to get connected. So is it a 85 or a 84? 184. Now to check. Yeah, that is wrong. Yes, wrong IP address, guys. I am unable to connect because it's a wrong IP address I am given. So this is my remote PC. 85. So see that I use 192 series, that one. So that is the wrong IP address. Now it is correct one. So I'm logging from there to here using SSH protocol. Okay. So I log in as a root user here. I log in as a root user here. Okay, I'm logging here with other user. I didn't remember which user is there. Just I will try to find. Don't worry what I'm doing. So this is my username, Latif DevOps 1. I think I given wrong password. Finally, I log in. Guys, can you see? This is one user. This is root user, and this is another user. So two users, same system. I log in. You can see for same system I log in from. Okay, two users are login at a time to the same system. You have a doubt, so see this output is different. Same command I'm giving, no output at all. Okay, so two users log into same machine. So it is a multi-user mode, multi-user and multitask. We can do multiple tasks in both Linux and Unix system. Okay guys, single user, single task means only one user and only one task at a time we can do it. Single user multitask. Example, Windows operating system, both Windows desktop and server based operating system. Only one user at a time we can log in, either directly or remotely we can access. So, and it is a multitasking. Next is multi-user multitasking. We can do multiple tasks at a time, and also we can log in with a multiple user either physically or through network. We can log into the same machine. Guys, understand up to here? Single user, single task, multi-user, multitask, SOS, NOS, kernel, shell. Respond, guys. I have to move fast.
Yes, sir.
Sir, randomly you gave those passwords or how it works
Passwords.
actually?
Here?
The passwords here, yes, sir.
No.
First time
I
it
given
was
a
showing
password.
access denied. And,
Yeah, I given a password so many days back. I forget the password. I'm trying with other passwords. It's not logging. Finally, I succeeded with the original password. In Linux, most of the time I give admin@123, and another one is username as a password. I will give. So I already given a
and
password.
you mentioned that your IP address got changed.
Yeah, I checked just before at the time of break. I turn on my Linux server and check the IP address, but I just given wrong IP. So now I recollected my memory, and this is the correct IP address.
So if any in the system, if anyone got disconnected, means when he again try to reconnect it, at that time the IP address of that network will get changed, right?
Possibilities there. Very good. This is network is connected. Very good. Okay. Network is connected. I got some IP address from a DHCP server. So because DHCP server give IP address automatically, and it is not stable address. Every time it may changes. Possibility it may give you IP address once today one IP address, tomorrow another IP address. You will get it. Okay. So what I have
Every
done,
time we logged out, we have to check the password,
we have to check the IP address.
IP address, and to log in into that network, they will provide. Sometimes they may provide the security. For that, we have to reach to the admin to know the password, right?
Generally, you know the password. Okay, so once your account is created, then they will give you username and password.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
password won't change like that. Password won't change because I forget that password. Okay, I forget
So
my
based on MAC
password,
address,
so
will they
password
gonna
won't.
provide password, sir?
No.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so usually password. For example, you join into the company. So again, service desk comes here. So HR will collect your information, right? Your regular, your Gmail account, your name, your phone number, like that. So they'll give the information to system administrator as a service request. Create a user account for this particular user. So he will take your name, and based on your name and all. So two things are there. Either it is a temporary password, they will give it to you. Okay, like admin@123 or a XYZ ABCD 123. Some temporary password they will give it to you. So once you log in for first time, it forces you to change your password. You log in for a first time, it forces you to change your password. So then give the password, and then you can able to first give the temporary password. Then it asks you to change the password. Change the password. Then you can log in. So that is you can able to remember. Sometimes in organization they will maintain single password scheme. Means they'll give you a password. You have to use the password for a 40 days, like that. So once 30 to 40 days in between, admin will change the password again, or you have to request, please change my password because my password is compromised. You told your password to someone and now it is compromised. Okay, like that.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
You
sir.
can reset the password. Good question. Okay, we didn't done this one. Guys, you got an IP address for first time from DHCP server, your system is shut down or restarted, or maybe you are disconnected. Possibility is there, you may get another IP address. Possibility is there, you may get another IP. Sometimes every time you will get same IP address, sometimes different IP. Depends upon network. And you change the network. For example, I connect a laptop here, I got some IP address. I go to my home and connect that network. Again, I will get a different IP from that network DHCP server. Okay. So IP address compulsory. So based on the location of a system, based on the connectivity, you have to check it.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
I had a question about the Linux multi-user thing. So so for example, if you're logged in as a root user on the other computer and you log in as your main user on the other one, like you did, like you were showing file directories, right, with the ls command. What if you do sudo ls in normal user as well as the root user? Will it show the same directory? Will it show the same output or not?
Yeah, so sudo, I got it. Ls is just a command to see what is the content in my current directory.
Yes, sir.
Okay, content in my current directory.
So you said that
this is
it would show different
yeah,
output.
it's my root directory,
right?
Okay. This is PWD. This directory is different. Current directory, home directory is different between these two. So don't go to that much far. You use a sudo. Sudo means do as a super user.
Root command, yes, sir.
Yes, do as a super user.
Yes,
Root
sir.
is an administrator of Linux. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In Windows, we have administrator account. So in a root is an administrator of Linux, highly privileged user.
Yes.
Admin commands can be run by root. Normal users cannot run. For example, you want to install some application, you want to uninstall some application, you want to do certain changes, you want to delete a file, you want to create a file in a certain location. So root user can able to do it. Normal user cannot able to do it.
Okay, sir.
For example, I have a normal account, that is normal account. He cannot do change of password. He cannot create a user. He cannot create a group. Okay, so he cannot install an application. Okay, but root user is a highly privileged. You should not give root password to everyone. Okay, I know the root password because I am the main administrator. No problem.
Yes, sir.
But if I am a user only, then root user password should not give.
Okay, sir.
So what we will do, we will make them as a super. So okay, sudoers can run admin commands. Every admin command they have to use sudo before. For example, I want to change the password for some user, passwd. Ravi is a user. Okay, so if I don't use sudo, system will scold you because you are not administrator. How can you run passwd command? If you use sudo, yes, do as a super user. Are you super user? Are you sudoer? Then run. So that's the difference.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So guys, 2 points. Actually, there is one more is there called Windows and Linux differences. Tomorrow I will tell because it's already 1:18. So real-time operating system, distributed operating systems also there used in a specific device, a specific operating system they will design. For example, you take rockets or maybe satellites. Okay, so they will use a specific type of operating system for their devices. They don't use just like a Windows or Linux or Unix. They don't use our operating system. Maybe some organization take a Linux kernel or Unix kernel operating system, they develop their own operating system for their devices. Okay, it's a device specific, organization specific operating system, not generally available operating system like Windows or Linux, Ubuntu, all these things are generally available operating systems. So that is a real-time operating system and designed and used for a specific hardware types only, specific organizations wise only. Okay. Distributed operating system. Distributed operating system is a concept of distributed system. Distributed application means multiple systems are connected together and working as a one. That time the distributed operating system uses. So I'm not going to explain any other things, but there is a word called distributed operating system. Okay. You know mobile operating system. So mobile operating systems are we know popularly Android and iOS. Guys, there is a question called difference between iPhone and Android phone. It's a phone difference, guys. Architecture wise, you don't need to worry. Simply to tell usage wise, iPhone usage and Android usage, both plus and minuses. You have to find that differences. I don't know. Now, before Android and iOS, and now also there is some other operating system like a Symbian operating system used by Nokia. You know Nokia, smart mobile and normal mobile. So there are used Symbian operating system. So Nokia, instead of developing Symbian, they merge with Microsoft, and both are flap in a market. So different reasons. So Nokia is Symbian operating system, they use it. So Tizen from Samsung, I think so, Tizen operating system. BlackBerry is actually superhit earlier. So BlackBerry is the king of this smartphones kind of stuff before Android and iOS. Okay. So BlackBerry is a specifically BlackBerry phones, BlackBerry operating system. There is a BlackBerry phone with a BlackBerry operating system, and they have a QWERTY keyboard, and you can send an email, and you have a specific type of internet connectivity for a BlackBerry. Okay, so different features are BlackBerry is there, but so later on this Android and iOS came into market, touch phones are came into market. The cost of BlackBerry also different, so obviously we are not using. Windows phones are there earlier, and even after Android also came, so Windows phones are there. Still it is there, but mostly it is not much popularity not gaining. So mobile operating system used in a mobile phone. Even a featured phone, small phones also having an operating system, guys. We are talking in a point is smartphones, not only a smartphone, featured phones also having a built-in operating system. Okay, that's about your operating system. But here I told about a desktop operating system and server operating system. Just for a note purpose, guys, desktop operating system uses for to run an application, different type of applications, games, data processing, multimedia thing. You can play audio, video kind of stuff. You can edit audio, video kind of stuff, web browsing, you practice programming kind of stuff. And literally desktop operating systems, also called as client PCs and user devices. User uses desktop operating system. So yeah.
Hello, sir. Sir, what is the distributed operating system?
Yeah, that is I said no, I don't tell. You try.
Okay.
Figure it out. Okay. That will confuse us. Okay. Server operating system support server applications. Server means it provides a service by installing built-in feature servers or by installing server applications. The server become a specific server like a DHCP server, DNS server, VPN server, web server, application server, file server, mail server, proxy server, or maybe database servers. Okay. So what is the server? Server provides a service to the clients, different type of services. How it will be? Either the server having a inside there is a features or a roles. You install and configure it, it become a server. Sometimes by installing an application, a server become a specific server. For example, mail server. You install a Exchange application, Microsoft Exchange in a Microsoft server, it become a mail server. You install a Zimbra application in a Linux machine, it become a mail server. It's like that, okay? You install a Oracle DB application in a machine, it become a database server. Okay, by installing a server applications or by installing built-in roles and features, it act like a server. So that is server provides a service, client access the service. Desktop operating system not for providing a service, it is utilizing the services. Okay, so that's the difference, guys. Actually, I want to tell as a part of it Windows and Linux differences. Tomorrow I will tell difference between Windows and Linux. Some features of Windows operating system also I will try. Okay, that is for today. And where is yours? I have to change. This is operating system PPT. Okay, go through once everything, guys. Mainly troubleshooting related questions, both hardware, operating system, and network troubleshooting also you have to go. Okay, so I think for you I added a question paper 3. Try to complete. So if possible afternoon or day after day tomorrow I will add one more questions. Okay, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.